if he can manage to, after all the carnage, lay at our feet. We are instructed to be something to him, leaving us behind so that we can be his woman. It doesn't matter that he has been forced to grow up and man up before he is given all the tools to do so, sometimes leading him to make all kinds of foolish decisions to make money. Doesn't matter that he's been told that the more women he accumulated, the more manly he is, so that when he finds a true gem, he doesn't discern the difference between it and cheap glass. He has no idea how to be a man, not a good one anyway. Elijah Lewis was the love of my life at one time, but I had not loved myself yet. I loved him more. I would have pushed my last breath into his mouth so that he could do what he needed to do, with no thought to where my next would come from. He would have taken it with no regard to me flailing about after he left to find more air to fill up his chest. I was busy loving him, and he was loving the streets, loving the women, and basking in his freedom. Though he may not have been loving me, he needed me plenty. He needed someone to hold things down when I couldn't even hold myself together. I gave him what he needed, that and more, and I was left with a husk of a man. Bitterness and I became good friends for some time. Reefer and curtain-darkened rooms while sad music played became an escape while my children received European education. When I pushed aside bitterness in exchange for mothering, I played with my daughters, oiled their scalps, and twisted their thick dark hair while they giggled or they told me about their days. I rubbed shea butter on their ashy knees and elbows while I taught them about Oya, Yemaya, and Oshun. Painted their nails while I whispered about how to clean themselves properly as their bodies changed. When they cried during father-daughter opportunities they would miss out on, I wiped their tears and held their hands as I walked in as the proud parent of my babies. He wasn't there, but I was, and they would miss out on nothing. As they lengthened their spines and lifted their heads to the sky, I kissed their crowns, and I told them to be strong and to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is where your womanness grows. It is where you heal and nurture yourself. Strength is often where we hide who we are and who we fear becoming. It has a purpose too. As the years wore on, I invited bitterness over less and less and glowed in me more. Time has taught me something. Time and my visions were great teachers. He, Elijah, was in fact the love of my life. I just wasn't the love of his. The love I had for him gave me my children, a family that I have loved with the best parts of myself, and in turn they have learned to love me back into myself, or at least into the person I was destined to be. With time and a little bit of patience, I came into my own, and bless Creator, what a marvelous discovery. I now know that there is no end, only new beginnings, over and over. I am embarking on a new beginning, a new thing, a new love, and I'm ready, I think. Zora. You've got to breathe through it. Come on, stay with me, Solomon. Placing my palm against the hot skin at the base of his spine, I applied firm pressure and pulled him in closer to me. His palm mimicked my actions by pressing right above my ass, sending shards of pleasure throughout my body. I fought off the surge of erotic energy it produced, but he continued to struggle as our connection intensified, and he grabbed my waist entirely, as if trying to hold on for dear life. Honey brown eyelids fringed with long dark lashes eclipsed deep brown irises as he struggled to maintain control and not give over to the intense pleasure our bodies were giving to each other. His tight grip around my waist almost sent me over, but I held on as the sweat on our skin sealed us together. This was my first time attempting this with Solomon, and it might be the last if he couldn't control his breathing. I realized it would take effort as my body convulsed around him, but it was involuntary at this point, and the more I held off from giving in to the orgasm my body wanted, the more it tightened.